Sayama Soccer. It's happening. You have been living under a rock if you haven't heard that Lionel Messi is coming to Major League Soccer and joining Inter Miami during the July transfer window. He spurned other clubs, including staying at PSG in France, including a return to Barcelona in Spain, and Al Hilal in the Saudi Arabian Premier League offered Lionel Messi $400 million per season to join them. Now, Lionel Messi has said that it's not all about money for him, and I'm sure that his wife and his kids would have much rather lived in Miami. All of this combined with Messi's salary, and add to that the MLS Apple TV deal that provides Messi with a share of subscriptions, and Adidas, who will subsidize this move as well by offering Messi a share of jersey sales. This is an unprecedented move, and we heard back in January Don Garber, the MLS commissioner, talk about how they would get creative to bring Lionel Messi here. And in 2021, even thinking 2 or 3 years back, David Beckham and Jorge Mas, the co-owners of Inter Miami, were openly talking about trying to bring Messi to MLS. And it has finally happened. We will see the greatest player of all time, undisputedly, come to Major League Soccer. We'll play in our stadiums, compete against our clubs, and enjoy what it means to be the premier player in Major League Soccer. Messi's move to Inter Miami isn't just good for Messi and his salary and his revenue. Inter Miami and Major League Soccer are set for a substantial windfall in revenue because of Messi's move. It has been reported that every single home match for Inter Miami and every single away match at away grounds are sold out only a few days after the move was announced. Not only that, but tickets are going for more than a few $100s each, which can go back to the clubs. And eventually, if you're a club that is hosting Inter Miami, you may have just gotten $5 to $10 million just in game day revenue because of Lionel Messi. I do think teams, including Inter Miami, will start to consider games in NFL or college stadiums when Messi is playing. Not just that, but the viewership with Apple subscriptions for the MLS Season Pass, there are no blackouts for geographical locations. So whether you are in India or Uzbekistan or Portugal or Argentina, everyone can watch every single game with MLS Season Pass. Now, $400 million is a lot to give up at Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia, but I do think with this creativity, Lionel Messi will not be a poor man in the United States. Now, I don't just want to talk about the money here, because Lionel Messi is following two major trailblazers that helped expose the game to Americans. That is Pele in the NASL days in the 70s, and David Beckham when he joined LA Galaxy in 2007. The New York Cosmos in the 70s signed Pele, and it exploded the NASL in terms of popularity. Pele would regularly garner 60 to 70,000 people to come watch him play. It also provided an exposure to the international market and what soccer looked like in America, because after Pele, we saw George Best, Gerd Muller, Franz Beckenbauer, all of them come play in America. We saw the same thing with David Beckham after joining LA Galaxy. Then we saw other major superstars like Rafa Marquez, Thierry Henry, Robbie Keane, and nowadays in 2023 we have Insigne, Shaqiri, all of these superstars that are playing in Major League Soccer. Above all, Messi is the greatest player of all time, better than David Beckham, and arguably better than Pele. His profile in the modern age with social media, he has many times the amount of followers of LeBron James or Tom Brady. Soccer is truly an international game, and Messi will bring eyes from the outside in. And that presents somewhat of a conundrum for us that have been watching Major League Soccer since 1996 or since 2007. I would urge everyone to not gatekeep what Major League Soccer is. Allow new fans to come in and enjoy this league that we love so much. Yes, maybe 9 teams in every conference make the playoffs. Maybe there's not promotion and relegation, but there is something about the domestic league that feels like it's a part of me, and I'm excited to be able to share that with the rest of the world. And I'll also say, if you're watching this and you haven't watched any of the MLS content before, you haven't seen me before, make sure to follow this channel, because you can learn everything you need to know about the tactics, the coaches, and the players in Major League Soccer that Messi will be competing against. That's another thing that I want to talk about, actually, because we've seen superstars come to Major League Soccer and fail to win any trophies. I mean, it took David Beckham with Landon Donovan in his prime 5 years to win an MLS Cup. Thierry Henry, who is arguably one of the best players to come to Major League Soccer, had joined a perennial contender in the New York Red Bulls and never even made a final. Because of the way that rosters are constructed and the amount of teams that are competing for these trophies, it is very difficult for one player to make a difference. I will say that if one player on the planet exists to do that, it is Messi. But I wouldn't expect Messi to turn Inter Miami around this season. One of the main reasons for that is because Miami is currently under a restriction from the MLS for skirting some of the roster rules. I'm wondering if the MLS and the league office will start to unrestrict Miami and loosen some of the roster rules to allow them to build a team around Messi and bring a product on the pitch that everyone will want to watch, because right now, Inter Miami is slated to be one of the worst teams in Major League Soccer. They're second to bottom in the Supporters' Shield table right now. They're also without a coach, with Phil Neville leaving last week and being fired from the club. It is being reported that Tata Martino, who has previously coached Messi at the Argentina national team and at Barcelona, is being pegged to come in and be the coach for Inter Miami. I think that would be a really interesting hire because he does play a high press and wants that from his team. But Messi is not that player anymore and is kind of just the ace in the hole that will drop in and take that space and move the ball from back to front. So with the finances of the deal, the broadcast impact for Apple and Major League Soccer, and the on-field impact for Messi and Inter Miami, what do you think about this move? How excited are you to see Messi join Major League Soccer in Miami? If you are hooked on learning everything you need to know about Major League Soccer, and you want to learn about a team that is at the top of the table with no major superstars on their roster, make sure to watch this video next. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. Backheeled is home to some of the best sports journalists dedicated to covering American soccer. Get 10% off your subscription by going to backheeled.com/itscalledsoccer or see the link in the description.